the branches have to respect our constitutional order, but there's a lot of game yet to be played. Those will be appealed. We've got to go through the whole process, and we'll get to the final analysis. In the interim, I will say I agree wholeheartedly with Vice President J.D. Vance, my friend, because he's right. What they're doing in the executive branch, I've been asked so many times, aren't you uncomfortable with this? No, I'm not, because when Congress, for example, appropriates dollars for the executive branch to use, we build in, not only in the spirit of the law, but in the letter of law, a broad amount of discretion for how that is used. And there's a lot more to come. And I think that the courts should take a step back and allow these processes to play out. What we're doing is good and right for the American people.
That was House Speaker Mike Johnson yesterday talking about the role of Congress and the courts in assessing the Trump administration's agenda. Joining us now, former HUD Secretary Julian Castro. He's also the former mayor of San Antonio, Texas, and an MSNBC and NBC political analyst. Secretary, thanks for joining us. First, as a former member of a presidential cabinet, I want to get your read on what's happening between the Trump administration and the court system as they try to effectively dismantle various pieces of the federal government.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Mike Johnson there said, well, we give a lot of latitude, a broad discretion, basically, to the executive branch. And of course, there is a good amount of discretion. I would just point out, Ali, as you know, that when the shoe was on the other foot, these Republicans were trying to prescribe to the very, decimal point how the Obama administration or the Biden administration spent these dollars. But then secondly, he's saying, well, they have discretion on how they use these funds. But in some cases, they're talking about not using these funds at all, doing away with complete agencies or parts of agencies. And so it does seem as though the executive branch is trampling all over the job of the legislative branch. And the fact that Mike Johnson and other Republicans won't even say a negative word here is just flabbergasting. It's like they're giving up their job. And I don't think that this is what the American people voted for.
I do think it's fascinating to see the Speaker of the House effectively undercut one of the central roles of his legislative body. But putting that aside for a moment, I also want to touch on concerns about the Trump administration's holding migrants at Guantanamo Bay. This is yet another action amid the flurry of actions in the first few weeks of this administration. Can you talk about your concerns over how the Trump administration is disobeying the courts here when it comes to immigration and just the optics of sending migrants to Gitmo?
I mean, we know Guantanamo, right, from the conversation that we've had, unfortunately, over these last 20 years as a place that's shrouded in secrecy, a place that specifically is designed for al-Qaeda-related accused terrorists and people who have been held there for years and years. Well, this is the same place now that the Trump administration says they want to send 30,000 migrants to. Already, one district court in New Mexico has enjoined the administration from sending 3 Venezuelans to Guantanamo because the administration basically has not proven up that the people they want to send there would fall within the law that covers who can actually go there. So aside from the humanitarian concerns, which are very real given the track record of Guantanamo, and that's why presidents have been trying to close Guantanamo for some time, there's also the concern that this is a breaking of the law. And again, and this is the through line, we're headed toward a constitutional crisis if the Trump administration, in this instance, like others, decides, hey, you know what? We don't need to listen to the courts. We're going to go ahead and do what we want to do. As they do that, Trump's not going to be on the ballot again in 26 or ever again, even though he may want to. But it becomes a bigger and bigger problem for those congressional representatives that especially are in swing districts, for senators like Thom Tillis and Susan Collins, who are up for re-election in 26, and also for all of these Republicans that think they're going to run for president in 2028. Go and explain to the American people that you've basically trampled all over the Constitution over and over and over again. I don't think that's a winning move or a winning message.
I do think it's important that we keep our eyes on the prize when it comes to the potential and the way that the administration and key members are toying with. Do we adhere to what the courts are saying? Do we not? At this point, they are working through the appeals process on various of these items. But I want to drill down with you because in addition to your resume, you also ran for president in 2020. I covered that campaign, and immigration was such a central focus for you. But it does feel in my conversations on Capitol Hill like many Democrats feel they've lost the plot when it comes to immigration policy. policy. And so as much as Trump is enacting a very restrictive and hawkish agenda on immigration, where are Democrats on this issue? It feels like they say broadly, well, we support border security, but there's no clear policy drill down on what that actually means. Where should your party be looking right now as they try to reestablish on that issue?
Yeah, well, of course, there was legislation that was compromise legislation that almost made it to the finish line, but Trump spiked it, and congressional Republicans in the end didn't go along with it. I think that Democrats both need to point out all of the problems with what the Trump administration wants to do on immigration, which I think most Americans feel is too extreme, even though, yes, in 2024, it was a more conservative approach on immigration than in 2020. No doubt about that. The times were different. But the problem with the Trump administration is I think they're overreaching. And so Democrats need to point that out and then also put forward a positive vision on immigration. How can you address concerns at the border, but also treat people humanely? The problem, Ali, between 2021, when Biden took over, and then the election of 2024 is that I think Biden, and I said this many times, he never put forward that positive vision. He never really pushed back as things went further and further to the right. Democrats should not make that mistake. They're going to have an opportunity because the Trump administration is already going too far.
Yeah, I have heard many people who are looking back at the Biden administration thinking that they left a vacuum on this issue, and now it's an active debate within the party and on Capitol Hill. Former HUD Secretary Julian Castro, thank you for getting up with us early this morning.
Thank you.
And